What I've kind of seen in this new generation of women, right, is women feel that they can communicate with men like men. And when I say that, I mean this, like the confrontation that I've seen some women act with men can be very masculine. I've seen women be like, poke men in their heads, boss up on
Are you
women.
looking at me? How dare you?
Like you know, like act like men with men. Because men, I've always said, like, men communicate in a certain way, right? If myself and Mr. Beard gang over here, right, if I was to square up to them, it'll be a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. I'm not saying who's going to win, who's going to lose. It's going to be a situation because I know as a man, I've got to tread carefully with other men. And I've noticed that when it comes to communication with men, women of this generation, modern women, think that they can communicate with men like men. That they can. I've seen women boss up in men's faces, like push men and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, do you understand that kind of? Do you understand what that means?
No, I hear you. I want to speak because I've had an experience of acting in such a manner. I had to check myself as a result of seeing myself. And when I speak about my experience, the only thing that I was able to make sense of is the fact that I come from a similar environment that has conditioned me to quote unquote express relative masculine energy and expressions. And I had to see it in myself to realize that you're not acting like a lady. But at the same time, I come from a single parent home. I'm from quote unquote South London. I used to fight a lot when I was younger. I used to be really into sports. So in my younger years, for the most part, I used to be a tomboy. Like my mum, it was just my mum, me and my sisters. So when someone comes to the door, I used to be the go to the door. If something's broken in the house, so I didn't even realize I was being conditioned and adopting some of these masculine traits. So when I used to find myself in quote unquote confrontation and arguments, I didn't realize that I was brothering and famming and squaring up. But it took me a while to realize.
Did you ever get punched in the face by a man?
I did actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Did it stop you?
How is your face not like? He had to have slapped you, not punched you.
Oh no, I got punched, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
I'm just thinking if a dude hit you full force, I feel
It
like your
wasn't
face
full.
would be...
It wasn't full force.
Oh,
The person
okay.
in question wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my only ever experience in doing that. And but I even though I do feel like I was antagonized and the person played a part in it, I do see how I facilitated that. When I checked myself, where did I come from? Why do you act like that? You can communicate in a manner that can, get better results. And I understand that that's not effective when you're actually trying to get results with men. I thought, where did I come from? And I realized, you know what? It came from how I got brought up. I used to pretty much act like a boy. So I used to speak like a boy. I was like a South London girl, but it's taken me a while, past 25, to realize that, you know what, you're actually, just because of where you come from doesn't mean you can't be feminine and use your femininity to get results when it comes to interacting with men. So
well done for doing the work on yourself.
Oh, thank you.
It's important, man.
Well done.
Thank you, Becca.
Do you because I've seen you see with that type of woman, that type of communication where women think that they're men. I've been out like on a night out, right? And I've seen women who feel aggrieved about a way a man either spoke to her or treated her a certain way, and she's been up in a man's face, but she's been with her boyfriend.
That's the worst.
Right?
That's the worst, worst type.
Lord have mercy.
One of my things is, because women are women, they don't understand what danger is, right?
You don't, yeah.
And women understand danger when it comes to other men, like sexual danger, rape and sexual assault and that kinds of stuff, those kind of stuff. But when it comes to like physical violent danger, I feel like women don't understand what it is. And it's like, I've seen on a couple of occasions a woman been with a boyfriend and another man has been with like 5 dudes and she's been lapping and I've been like, you are about to let your boyfriend die today. Like your boyfriend's going to get effed up today because you don't understand that if you don't learn to shut the up, right? Your boyfriend's going to have to jump in and defend you, right? And he's going to get jumped by about like 5 dudes.
My man would say you're on your own, mate. There's no way my man going to jump in to save me if I start some rubbish like that.
Women like that is
Leave me on my own.
Dangerous.
And that's what men need to do. Men need to wise up to women when they're doing that rubbish. If a woman pokes you, just walk away and leave her. I would say slap her down, but if there's cameras around. But
myself and
I
Pearl,
think that sometimes the men, they just need to wise up. If I went out there with my man and I started an argument, he would say like, "Is that what your brain told you to say?" You know what I mean? He'd be like,
"You fight him."
He'd be like, "See you later." Even if I raise my voice, something. Yeah. He's like, check yourself. I'm like,
Do you know what's funny?
it
Because
just stop me there. Check yourself.
myself and Pearl I'm just going to say an anecdotal story time. Myself and Pearl done a podcast with a certain woman. And let's just say this woman did not like me very much on the podcast, right? We had issues. And what happened is that
I think she didn't mind you at the podcast. I think it was the edits that came.
it was the edit. Yeah. So once the edits came
clips,
out and the clips came out, she didn't like me. Like she went on some, this guy's this and I don't like Sarah and blah, 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 blah. And I saw her again like a couple months later and I was just like, listen, yo, no beef here. Like, we're cool. She's like, I don't like you. Da, 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 da. And like a couple of days later, like in my inbox on like Instagram, her boyfriend had come in my inbox. I don't like the way you spoke to my girl. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? Whatever she told you, she's put a battery in your back, bro. And I'm not saying that I'm a gangster or anything like that, but women like that will literally send their man out into the field to go and defend their honor. Right? Defend my honor. And then when the guy gets either in the trouble with the police or effed up, she's nowhere to be seen. When the bullets start flying, women are nowhere to be seen. Women will gas a guy up, like, to go and get effed up, and they'll be nowhere to be seen afterwards.
Men need to get wise.
Like, they need to get wise, bro.
Men need to get wise.
And girls need composure. It's so easy to put a man in his place without having to get yourself out of your place.
Why would you want to be putting a man in his
place?
place? Who are you to put
I'll tell you why. Do you know what?
Oh, gosh.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you what's been happening. Do
Place?
you know what men have been doing when they come up to me now on the streets? Some of them, they don't seem to like me very much from this podcast. So they tend to manhandle me, grab me a bit too tough on the shoulder, slap my shoulders a bit too hard. And I'm like, listen, this guy's about to really piss me off, but it's okay. And I tell him, every single time with my composure, don't forget that I'm still a woman. Who are you to be manhandling me like that? Please take your hands off me. Easy. You don't need to get angry. He feels stupid and he leaves you alone. Composure. That's all you need. So